48 hours, correspondent Aaron Moriarty takes a new look at the Lizzie Borden case.
Dive into the chilling tale of Lizzie Borden, infamously known as the Axe Murderer. Unravel the enigmatic mystery behind the gruesome crimes that shook a small town to its core. Join us as we delve deep into the dark secrets of this infamous figure. Born on September 13, 1822 in Fall River, Massachusetts, Andrew Jackson Borden hailed from one of the city's founding families. While Fall River prospered due to its industrial growth fueled by rivers powering mills, Andrew faced financial challenges, residing in a less affluent area compared to his relatives. Despite this, he persevered and built his fortune through various ventures, including furniture and casket manufacturing, real estate, and textile mill management. Known for his frugality, he married Sarah Anthony Morris at 23, and they raised their daughters Emma Lenora and Alice Esther with love and care. Tragically, Alice passed away young, and Sarah's time with Lizzie Andrew Borden was brief before her own passing. Andrew's legacy, worth over $10 million today, reflects his determination and resilience in overcoming adversity to achieve success. On March 26, 1863, when Lizzie was just 2.5 and Emma was 12, Sarah Borden died from uterine congestion and spinal disease. On her deathbed, she made her oldest daughter, Emma, promise to always look after Lizzie, and Emma had been groomed for this by her mother, to be a loving and maternal figure. Emma took this responsibility incredibly seriously. She took care of little Lizzie's needs. Andrew Borden was still recovering from the loss of the love of his life. He was also busy wearing his many hats, and he had his hands on many different projects. At 12, Emma assumed care of Lizzie, a short-lived arrangement. On June 6, 1865, Andrew married Abby Durfee Gray, but they had no children. The girls were distant with Abby initially. Emma attended Wheaton Female Seminary, visiting Lizzie only during breaks. During Emma's absence, Lizzie and Abby grew closer. Emma, possibly perceiving this closeness negatively, left Wheaton to resume her maternal role. In 1873, Andrew moved the family to 92 Second Saint, strategically near his businesses. Lizzie, dissatisfied, desired a wealthier lifestyle. Despite average academics, Lizzie openly criticized Abby, while others viewed her as kind. She was self-assured but average academically, and she left school in 1889 to focus on church involvement. In 1889, an Irish immigrant named Bridget Sullivan was employed as a maid to manage household chores and cooking. Interestingly, Emma and Lizzie affectionately called her Maggie. Before the tragic events, the entire family fell ill with symptoms of weakness and frequent vomiting. Speculations arose about food poisoning from spoiled mutton due to Andrew's frugal habits. However, Bridget, the maid, disclosed that the sickness likely originated from swordfish she had prepared earlier. On August 2nd, amidst the family's illness, Lizzie attempted to acquire prussic acid from Smith's Pharmacy. She claimed it was for cleaning a sealskin cape but was refused the purchase due to its hazardous nature, despite her insistence on having previously bought it. On August 3rd, the Borden family received an unexpected visit from John Vinicum Morse, Emma and Lizzie's maternal uncle, who was acquainted with Andrew Borden. He arrived around 1:30 p.m. and encountered Abby, Andrew, and Bridget, but not Lizzie or Emma, the latter being away visiting friends in Fairhaven, MA for about 2 weeks prior to the tragic events. After dinner, Abby and Andrew briefly joined John before he left. Upon John's return around 8:30 p.m., they were still in the sitting room. After a while, Abby went to bed, then Andrew. John heard someone enter Lizzie's room but didn't see her. The next day, John noticed Lizzie's door closed around 6 a.m. They had breakfast together at 7 a.m. Afterward, Andrew and John chatted in the sitting room while Abby dusted. John left around 8:45 a.m., and Andrew locked the door after him. John Morris went to the post office and then visited a niece until approximately 11:20 a.m. before returning to the Borden home. Bridget recalls waking up around 6:30 a.m. on a hot and humid day, still feeling unwell from the family's illness. While washing breakfast dishes, she observed Andrew Borden emptying a bucket outside and picking pears from the pear tree. Lizzie has not yet appeared. After seeing Andrew walk John to the door and return to brush his teeth, Bridget offered Lizzie breakfast. who declined, opting for molasses cookies and coffee. As Bridget began feeling ill, she ran outside and vomited for about 10 to 15 minutes before returning to finish the dishes. Around 9 a.m., Abby Borden requested that Bridget clean all the windows inside and outside due to the hot weather and Bridget's stomach illness. Not having seen Lizzie since breakfast, Bridget gathered cleaning supplies from the cellar. As she began outside, Lizzie appeared and inquired about the task. Bridget assured her she would handle it and offered to stay outside to watch. Bridget cleaned outside, noticing no one entering or leaving. Inside, Bridget locked the screen door and started on the interior windows. Andrew Borden struggled to enter, feeling unwell. Inside, Bridget heard Lizzie tell Andrew about Mrs. Borden's absence due to a sick friend. Lizzie asked about Bridget's plans, suggesting a fabric sale, but Bridget chose to rest. She heard no activity afterward. After about 10 to 15 minutes of silence, Lizzie suddenly screamed for Bridget, claiming that their father was dead and someone had killed him. Bridget quickly jumped out of bed, rushed down several flights of stairs to the kitchen where she found Lizzie. As she attempted to enter the sitting room, Lizzie urged her not to, insisting she go fetch a doctor. Bridget hurried across the street to Dr. Bowen's house only to find he was out on house calls. She returned to the Borden home and questioned Lizzie about her whereabouts during the incident. As Bridget had locked the screen door upon entering, Lizzie claimed she was outside and heard a groan from inside before finding the door wide open upon her return. Lizzie then instructed Bridget to fetch Alice Russell, expressing her fear of being alone. Neighbor Adelaide Churchill observed Bridget's frantic return from the doctor's house and Lizzie's stationary figure in the doorway, prompting her to inquire about the situation. Abby Borden was likely preparing the guest bedroom for John's return, expecting him to spend the night. The murder weapon remained elusive. Investigators found it puzzling that the killings occurred about 90 minutes apart, possibly closer to 2 hours, with Abby murdered first, followed by Andrew. Abby's blood had congealed, while Andrew's was still flowing and warmer. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Lizzie and Alice Russell remained. Alice expressed concern for Lizzie's well-being and questioned her whereabouts during the events. Lizzie claimed to have been in the barn looking for materials. Alice tried to assist Lizzie, who declined, insisting she was fine. Later, Lizzie retired to Emma's room alone. When Alice checked on her, she observed Lizzie changing into a different dress, raising suspicion about the attire change. Upon Dr. Bowen's return, Officer Allen was already on the scene. Officer John Fleet promptly responded to the call. Upon surveying the scene, police found minimal blood besides that on the bodies, raising concerns about the brutality of the attacks, which was uncommon in their town. Lizzie informed them about a bowl of bloody rags in the cellar, attributing them to her menstrual cycle. The police interrogated Lizzie regarding her activities that day. She stated she was in the kitchen, planning to iron handkerchiefs. While waiting for the iron to heat, she read an old Harper's magazine at the table. Assuming Abby was upstairs or out helping a sick friend and her father was resting in the sitting room, Lizzie contemplated fishing sinkers. She went to the barn to search for iron, leaving the kitchen door unlocked. En route, she noticed ripe, fallen pears beneath the pear tree. She gathered 3 pears and proceeded to the barn, where she spent 20 to 30 minutes in the loft, eating them and gazing out the window toward the house. Afterwards, she rummaged through boxes and drawers, searching for sinkers. During this, she heard sounds from the house and hurried back inside, finding her father. Later, police questioned Lizzie, who was visibly upset. After obtaining permission from Dr. Bowen, who was administering morphine, they searched her room, finding nothing incriminating. They also searched other areas of the house and the barn, finding no evidence. On August 6th, a funeral for Abby and Andrew Borden was held at their home. Following the funeral, police conduct a thorough search of the house and request Lizzie to provide the clothes she wore on the day of the murders. She hands over 3 items: a dark blue blouse, a patterned skirt, and a white underskirt. When Emma returns from Fairhaven, the town is abuzz with rumors and newspaper articles about the murders and potential suspects. On the day of the funeral, the mayor visits the house and advises Emma and Lizzie to remain indoors to avoid public attention. This leads Lizzie to inquire if anyone in the household is considered a suspect in the murders. He confirms, naming Lizzie as a suspect. The killings occurred on Thursday. Lizzie's friend Alice stayed until the following Monday, leaving on Sunday morning for errands. Returning around noon, she found Lizzie and Emma in the kitchen. Lizzie was near the fireplace, tearing up a blue fabric with paint stains, claiming it was an old dress ruined by fresh paint. On Monday, the police revisited the Borden residence, conducting a thorough search from the attic to the cellar. Although they had previously seized 2 axes and a hatchet, they sought additional evidence. Among the findings was a broken hatchet with a peculiar white residue on its blade, prompting its seizure for further examination. While some officers searched the house, others interviewed Alice, Lizzie, and Emma again. Despite prior statements, Alice faced new questioning. Asked about the dresses worn on the murder day, she reluctantly confirmed their presence, torn between honesty and loyalty. Later, regretting her deceit, she confessed to Lizzie and Emma, expressing remorse over her dishonesty and the implications of Lizzie burning the dress. Lizzie, questioning Alice's inaction, suggested suspicion surrounding the act given recent events. Emma intervened, urging Alice to tell the truth to the police, asserting Lizzie's innocence. Notably, previous closet searches yielded no paint-splattered dresses, a detail crucial given the police's thorough examination for blood spatter. Although Alice eventually confessed, the police had already gathered sufficient evidence, conducting an inquest before her potential arrest. During the inquest, several individuals were interrogated, including Bridget, John Morse, and Lizzie herself. Bridget Sullivan's testimony stood out to the police due to its clarity and consistency. Her account remained unwavering, indicating her sincerity. Similarly, John Morse provided a meticulous and comprehensive alibi, detailing his whereabouts and interactions throughout the day. Some found his account overly detailed, prompting speculation. On August 11th, the final day of the inquest, Lizzie Borden was formally arrested on 2 counts of murder. Despite this, Lizzie remained composed, refusing to show any reaction. She declined to have the arrest warrant read aloud to her, and she was subsequently taken into custody. Once imprisoned, Lizzie's demeanor changed drastically as she broke down into tears and hyperventilated, requiring medical assistance from Dr. Bowen. However, Lizzie's legal battle was far from over. With a substantial sum of money transferred to Emma's name, the sisters enlisted a prominent legal team. The trial garnered immense public attention, sparking a media frenzy with newspapers publishing sensationalized stories to boost sales. Lizzie's defense team included renowned attorneys such as Andrew Jackson Jennings, Melvin Ohio Adams, and George Dexter Robinson, the latter being a highly respected figure with a prestigious background in law and politics. The trial commenced almost a year later, in June 1893, with Lizzie facing a jury of 12 men, overseen by 3 male judges. These judges played a crucial role in shaping the trial's outcome. Lizzie's inquest testimony, riddled with inconsistencies due to her prolonged morphine exposure, was excluded from the trial. This decision significantly impacted the prosecution's case. Witnesses, including Alice Russell and Dr. Bowen, testified. Tools found in the cellar, like a claw hammer and axes, were scrutinized for evidence but yielded none, except for cow hair. However, Lizzie's underskirt had traces of human blood, though they were minimal. During cross-examination, Dr. Wood suggested the blood could be menstrual blood. The entire Fall River community closely followed the trial through newspaper reports. According to the prosecution, Lizzie had a clear motive, as she despised her stepmother Abby and resented her father's spending habits. Despite this, the jury deliberated for only 90 minutes before declaring her not guilty. Lizzie's acquittal shocked and scandalized Fall River residents. Rather than fleeing, she definitely chose to stay in town. On August 10, 1893, just 3 weeks after her trial, Lizzie fulfilled her aspiration by purchasing a mansion at 7 French Saint for $13,000 with her sister Emma. However, their arrival was met with disapproval from their affluent neighbors. At a Boston party, Lizzie met Nance O'Neill, a renowned stage and film actress whom she admired. Their instant connection delighted Lizzie, fulfilling her desire for a glamorous life mingling with artists. Nance also held Lizzie in high regard, describing her as attractive and eloquent. Excited about their friendship, Lizzie hosted a party for Nance at their new home, Maplecroft, in 1905. However, the conservative Fall River community views actresses negatively, fueling rumors about the nature of their relationship. In the same year, Lizzie's sister Emma moved out of Maplecroft and they never communicated again. Lizzie compensated Emma 150 hours every 6 months for the use of the property. Nance and Lizzie's relationship ended 2 years after the party. At home, Lizzie employed a close-knit group of servants who became like family to her, particularly her driver, Ernest Terry. In early 1926, Lizzie's health began to decline, and she passed away on June 1, 1927, just before her 67th birthday. Her sister, Emma, followed suit just 9 days later. If you enjoyed uncovering the secrets behind one of history's most notorious figures, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating content. Remember to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. We'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, or even personal experiences related to such cases, so please leave a comment below and let's start a discussion.